All right, so I'm trying something a little different with this Heal Talk, simply because I knew I had to get it done, but I didn't necessarily want to record this week. As I've shared in previous Heal Talks, how I usually go about recording and coming up with these topics is just allowing life to life and flow. And as I grow and heal and learn certain lessons along my journey, I cultivate them into a topic to talk about and bring it to you and share my experiences. But with this particular video, the title Temperance, I just felt like I've allowed myself to go through a period in time in my life that I had to go through a transition of letting go. And it's not a new topic that I've discussed on this channel. The process of letting go and the process of detachment, particularly in things like relationships and situations that just don't serve purpose anymore. And I had originally wrote these notes down on this topic July 10th. And it's the 16th now that I'm actually getting around to recording this topic. And the emotions and the feelings that I had when I was writing these notes have they've transitioned and I've released them. But I'll share the topics with you, and then I'll just continue to kind of free hand this convo, keep it light. But I wrote down that I am grateful for the pause and the pace of my journey. And by that, I mean there are absolutely times when I feel like I've had to go into a bit of like hermit mode. And sometimes without even trying, it's just kind of like God isolates me to have solitude and to go within and reflect on my life. What I've grown to learn about myself as I continue to grow and evolve is how deeply I take relationships, and not just intimate but platonic and family, friends, etc. I feel during this time and just throughout life up until this point, I've done a great deal of, I guess you could say, cleaning house and just kind of releasing relationships that just don't serve a purpose for, and I'm going to say this without being without ego, relationships that just don't serve me anymore. And I've had to get to a place where I don't feel bad about releasing certain relationships. Granted, it doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't love, genuine love, unconditional love for the things that I've had to part ways with. However, I've had to grow in terms of how I view, how I connect, how I extend myself, my energy towards relationships that really, one, aren't reciprocal, and again, two, just aren't serving a purpose for my highest good. When it comes to people that I care about and relationships that I invest time and energy and, just emotional space myself to, I know that I am a bit of a over giver. And I don't say that in a way that should be taken as like doing too much, even though I have in my past. But it's something that I love that about me. I love that I am willing to go the extra mile for the people that I care about, for the relationships that I want to invest in. I think that's a healthy thing. But what isn't healthy is when you're going the extra mile for certain relationships and not receiving anything, and maybe even a very small percentage of reciprocity back. And I've had to part ways with people and let go with love for people and just give it to God, essentially, not harboring any bitterness or resentment or ill will towards anything about letting go of those connections, but just truly being at peace and content with the fact that, if it comes, allow it. If it goes, allow it. And to just be discerning about what is and should be invited in your space and in your world. And again, growing to know yourself. And as I've grown to know myself deeply, deeper, that's one thing that I can say that I truly embody. I give to my connections and my investments, and I'm selective when it comes to that in general. So, even though I've been selective with the people that and the connections that I allow into my space, certain things just come across your path because it's just certain lessons and tests that you just have to experience. So I say I'm selective, but it's just like, yeah, but you can't duck and dodge, what you're supposed to learn. So another thing that I wanted to share that I wrote down is, again, with that quote, that I am grateful for the pause and the pace. In connection to that, I wrote, respecting the pace of the journey and not being in a rush, because, there's a lot of people going nowhere fast. And it kind of made me think about being in a traffic jam. Interesting analogy. When you think about, for example, driving to a destination, you're going to get there when you're going to get there. And that's just what it is. And that can be in driving. That could be applied with life too. You're going to get to your destination and where you're destined and fated to be when the time is right for you to be there. And so I think about, in terms of like a traffic jam, there's nothing you can do about being not necessarily stuck, but just respecting the pace of it all. It's out of your control, really, to kind of worry about, or to stress about trying to make something happen. And in terms of what I had to learn for myself, and in correlation to relationships, I can admit that I've been somewhat eager to be in relationships in a romantic way, eager to have a partner in my past, and meeting potential interests and just kind of being like head over heels and thinking, well, I remember talking to someone and it was just kind of like we would talk every day around the clock, like I laugh now because you don't realize how much of your energy that you're pouring into something until you have to pause. And in that pause, when something doesn't feel right anymore, you got to be like, okay, wait, what are we doing? But in this particular, connection that I had in my past, we would talk every day around the clock, like, hey, I'm cooking dinner. Hey, I just got off work. Hey, on my way home. Hey, I'm home now. Hey, I'm about to take a shower. Hey, like play by play. And it was beautiful in the moment. So don't take my laughs as like saying like it was ridiculous or anything like that, because it wasn't. It was truly genuine and endearing, and I appreciate and grateful for those experiences. But realistically, no one no adult really can give to a relationship and a connection around the clock all day, every day. Like you deplete yourself, you deplete your energy, and then you look up and it's just like, well, now what? And I think we kind of hit that road block, and then it was just like, well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for this. As far as a commitment goes. Now, I truly believe that people should be completely upfront and honest about the things that they feel, and respectfully, we had to part ways in terms of being romantic interests. And it was tough. It was tough for me to do that because we had grown and developed our relationship based off of